Hello, my name's James Kelly, and you probably know me from the Miracle Choice games. And I just really wanted to bring you up to date and let you know more about how A Course of Love has influenced my life this year. I came across A Course of Love in May 2017 after actually resisting it for probably about 2 years. I used to see it advertised in Miracle Network magazines or things to do with the Course in Miracles, and I always had a resistance to it. And then when I was in Sweden in April this year, I was working with some people from the Miracle Network there, and they were saying, oh, you need to read A Course of Love. And so I left there in April promising to read A Course of Love, and a month later I opened the book, or I had it actually on my phone, and I was reading it electronically, and I've never had an experience like reading any other book like I had when I was reading A Course of Love. It's really, I guess, hard to put into words. It's really a feeling response. Something was happening inside that I couldn't actually explain, that something was shifting. And it says in the Course of Love sometimes things about the time of tenderness, and there was times during that reading for a month or so that I was really emotional, really tender, open to things in a different way. So I realized that there was a process going on, and I didn't want to talk about it, and this is probably the first time I am talking about it, certainly on camera anyway. And that shift has been a beautiful journey inside, and I'm finished really my second reading of A Course of Love now, and also listening to Marie Perron, who is the first receiver. Listening to her audio of the Course is a beautiful experience as well. And so I'm very grateful to Marie Perron for being the first receiver, and she's still alive, so of course you can go and find her blogs on acourseoflove.com, and you can interact with Marie, and she goes to conferences. And I love the fact that the first receiver is there, and we're all, as she describes in the Course, we're all receiving the Course when we read it. And I love that idea of receiving something and taking it in. It's almost like for the first time I'm really taking in on a deeper level, on a feeling level, on a heart level, on a union of heart and mind deep within myself. I'm receiving my true self, my wholehearted self, in a way that I have never done before. And so what I wanted to say today was I actually woke up this morning, and I normally read A Course of Love in the mornings, and I was reading a passage that was being helpful to me because over the last few days until yesterday, I had thoughts that were coming, thoughts about work thoughts, really, thoughts about things being too much, that I'm not getting the help I need, that there's too many projects to work on. And I was kind of thinking about myself, that poor me, and feeling sorry for myself. So all those thoughts were there, and it wasn't until I got, with the help of a dear friend, to accept those thoughts that they all just dropped away. And this passage that I want to read is from the Dialogues, which is towards the end of A Course of Love. It starts off with the Course itself, and then it has the treatises, and then it goes on to dialogues. And these dialogues are pretty much at the end, as I say, of the Course of Love. And at that stage, you've kind of said goodbye to your ego. And I love that idea as well. It's kind of like at some point we realize, reading the Course of Love, that we have chosen to say goodbye to the ego, to let the ego go. And then what is happening then when you have thoughts that are negative, thoughts that are critical and judgmental? What's happening then is not that the ego has suddenly rushed back in, because the ego has gone. What's happening is that the old patterns and habits that were generated by the time of the ego, by the time of living and thinking and being an ego being, Those patterns and habits are there still until we really let them go. And of course, that makes it easier. I like that, and I kind of smile when I'm saying that, because it's a big revelation for me to actually think that I have chosen to let go of my ego, and now I just really have to choose to let go of the patterns and habits, because the patterns and habits seems like an easier thing. It's kind of like a whole different level. It feels much lighter and easier to think, well, okay, now I'm dealing with patterns and habits, and they're just going to come. They're almost coming because they're a residual effect of my choice for the ego. And when they come, I can just let them go. And as I say, I was reading a bit from the dialogues this morning, and I'll just read it, just a few lines from A Course of Love. It says, become used to letting what comes to you come to you without judgment. Let it come. Enjoy your silly thoughts as much as your wise thoughts. Let go your resistance to thoughts that seem of the old pattern. That you know that they are of the old pattern is enough. Let them come, let them go. And that line, I like it. That you know that they're of the old pattern is enough. Because when we know we're just dealing with patterns and habits and not really this thing called the ego, this thought system, this thing that feels such a big thing, then it's easier to just really know that they're patterns, they're old patterns, and it's so much easier to let old patterns go. And of course, we will end up just naturally replacing old patterns and habits with new patterns and habits of love, of union, of relationship, of really connecting to love in a different way. So love will give us new patterns and habits as we gently simply let go of the old patterns. So that's my kind of first introduction and sharing of A Course of Love. And you can find out more about Mari Perron, obviously going to the website and searching under that. So I encourage you to do that, and it might be a help for you on your spiritual journey. Thank you.